how you doing? This is Ron Savage. There's Pat McDonough right over there. And we're going to have a good show tonight. Just hang out, all right? All right? Whatever virus is around, blow it out and just come on. We'll have a good time, all right? So take it easy. You see him there? And there's Valerie.
Thunderbird Lounge in Phoenix, giving away
say hi.
Toilet paper.
Say hi. She said hi.
This is Fox News.
Oh shit. You think they get used to me? Yeah. Bada boom!
Showers, fall back to around 50. Early clouds and fog for Sunday. Some scattered thunderstorms later in the day. Low to mid-60s. Still looking at a stray shower thunderstorm Sunday night. 52 for the overnight. Lots of sun for Monday. In the upper 60s for the afternoon high. I'm Javino from the Weather Channel. Talk Radio 680 WCBA.
Yeah, I got this.
Please listen. This is important. Anyone can be affected by
the okay. I got this. It's like a little spray. It's like I know it's like gold, you know, but it's just like disinfectant. Shots. Oh, you use it right here. Like the microphone. Me. I said that. It tastes horrible. No good. I know this is live. It's just live. Where's everybody at, Governor?
That's 1-844-217-0912. Paid for by Brandcorp LLC.
What the hell is going on?
WCBM Studios are sponsored by a safe retirement solution. Call Rod Barowie for that solution. 410-266-1120.
Kick off your day with the top newsmakers, along with Fox News reporters and guests, plus a daily commentary and significant issue of the day. The Fox News Rundown on Talk Radio 680 WCBM. The views and opinions you hear on Talk Radio 680 WCBM and
everybody's invited.
Necessarily those of the owners, management, employers, and advertisers of WCBM, but they should be.
The Pat McDonough Show is brought to you by Rally for America. This is Talk Radio 680 WCBN. Time now for the Pat McDonough Show. Here's your host, Pat McDonough.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Super Citizen Radio. I hope you're holding up well under this the new normal, right? Stuck in your house, and it's different for different people. We've got a bunch of children. Of course, that could be one way. And if you, for example, you're an elderly person and you don't have anybody, you're in your home, well, that's an interesting situation, isn't it? It's going to be very lonely, and also for needs and things of that nature. We're going to talk about that a little bit tonight, and hopefully we have a special guest who tried to do something about it. People that are isolated, insulated.
Yeah, baby.
You don't know how they're doing. What is the county, what is the state doing about that? We'll talk about that. This is Super Citizen Radio. I'm Pat McDonough, your host, along with my co-host, Valerie McDonough.
Good morning. Good evening, everybody.
It's evening, Valerie.
I know. Just one of those days.
Yes, it has been. And these days, you wonder, you never would think that you would be at home every single day.
Yeah.
Of course, we get out. We do a couple of things that we can do. But guy, I was at the Royal Farm, and a guy came up to me and he said, well, I feel sorry for your wife. And I said, why? He said, well, she's stuck in the house with you all day. You're fortunate you're stuck in the house with her all day. Well, she's fortunate she's stuck in the house with me. But there's a lot of things going on. We're going to talk about the coronavirus, the COVID-19 What I learned today is there are a lot of viruses that come into what is called the corona classification. There's different ones, and COVID-19
The corona
is
classification.
one of those many different types
Yeah.
of coronaviruses. Now, a lot of controversy, a lot of discussion from the radical left and their cohorts in the media about President Trump and his presentations every day.
I don't know who's here.
Very critical. And we're going to talk a little
All right,
bit
I'm done.
about
I'm
his
done. The
leadership.
shield's all here. Ah, everybody. Yeah.
Now,
Oh, hell.
according to Gallup and many other polls, actually, the American people think
No, I was
he's really
just saying
doing
Vegas.
a good job. He's at
Vegas is here. Okay.
60%.
Yeah, and that's
And
how
they
we
don't think
milk
very
the
much
cows.
of
Oh,
his
Vegas. Hi,
opponents,
Vegas.
the
We weren't talking about
co-conspirators,
nothing. Hey, Rick
the
Eccles, I saw it.
Democrats and
Woo!
the
Shane
Democrats.
DeLong. Woo!
They're all
Yeah, I'm going to be
getting
safe.
around
I'm going to be
40%
safe.
support right
Yeah.
now. 90% of the 40% is
We're all
coming
going to be
from
safe.
them.
We're just going to get through all this
But-
crazy shit.
The president is doing very well, and I
Listen to
will
this,
make
but it's a
a
lot of
little
fun.
bit of a prediction for the future.
Who else?
When the virus has subsided,
Thomas Mack.
and when we have learned the different things that we need to do to be prepared when another virus comes around.
Yeah.
When we find out what our mistakes were, and when we look back at the president's steady, every single day leadership,
Yeah, baby.
these numbers are going to
Ah!
really go up. When people
That's
start
what
to
I
get
said.
back to the normal life, when people return to a more pleasant
Yeah,
life,
pleasant living, man.
they're going to look back. They're going to thank the president. for his
Yeah.
steady hand
They will.
bringing in people. We'll talk more about that.
Bada bang.
And we're going to talk about the seniors, the so-called baby boomers
Yeah.
of today. And if there's one particular group classification that's being hit really hard, it's them, right, Valerie? I mean,
Yes, it is, because they're kind of stuck where they don't have anything to do on Saturday nights if they're staying home or through the rest of the week. And the only thing that they probably
Who's stinging me? Who's stinging me? Who's stinging me?
iPhones or the
Is it working,
computers or
Ray?
something
which
like
is
that.
good that we have that technology so they
Yes.
can communicate with their grandchildren.
But again, they're not communicating with their parents. They're not communicating with other people. It's kind of
Their parents are dead. But these are seniors.
oh no, because you were talking about the baby boomers.
Well, yeah, maybe some of their parents, but I mean, these are 65 and over.
Oh no, that could be true.
But also, in addition to that, I mean, you have a lot of these folks. There are 52 million of them, 52 million residents in the United States who are over the age of 65. And I
No.
think 12, I'm not sure, I'll get that number later. It's a large number that are in nursing homes, like 3 million.
Yeah.
And that's very hard on them
Yeah.
because they can't visit. Their families cannot visit.
No, and what does the nursing home staff do? I mean, you know, they're working diligently around the clock to take care of these people. The elder people that are in the nursing homes, they're missing their families, so it's a big hardship on everybody all the way around.
Now, not related to the coronavirus, but we'll get into this. Baltimore City, once again, they've lost population.
Oh, I wonder why.
Yeah, right. And also, has anybody heard of Millionaire Mary?
I have,
No.
Yeah, Millionaire Mary is a Mary Miller
yes.
who is running for mayor, totally unknown.
Huh.
And she has moved up in the polls and is moving up. And her husband are millionaires, multimillionaires. And she is spending $1.5 million on this political race. Mary Miller used to work for Obama. She's a big investor with, I think it's Lake Mason, but I'm not sure. And I'll get back to that later on because I have the article here. And then something I think that is really, really important. We all know Venezuela
Vicky's
is a
here.
terrible social in this country where the Cubans are in control.
Emery's here.
President Maduro as the president who succeeded
I can't take
President Chavez,
I
who
can't take
in 16 years turned that country into a socialist
Oh, they're
country,
making me knock down my
destroyed the
papers
oil,
over
destroyed
here.
everything. It's a country that is totally broke, and 4 million people have deserted Venezuela to get out of there because
Jesus
it's such an
Christ.
oppressive country. For you Bernie Sanders socialist fans,
Yeah.
go to Venezuela,
Let's see.
okay? And they don't even have any program for the COVID-19. But Maduro.
Emily's here.
And all
Yeah.
these people, the generals,
Oh,
and
my
everything,
whole
the
head
head
just
of
blew
the
up.
General Assembly,
So I went to the walk-in.
they are all.
All right, Barry Andrews.
They are super
Stick in his eyes.
drug cartels, and they
Okay,
are
that's it.
putting cocaine, and they are flooding America and Mexico and other places
Oh,
with cocaine.
Oh.
New York City, Baltimore, the cocaine. Most of it is coming from President Maduro. That's how they're attacking the
boy.
United States, just like the Chinese attacked the United States with fentanyl. I mean, poor victims in the United States, you know. But something fantastic. This is another gift. I always tell you folks out there that this president gives us gifts. One of the gifts he gave us was he told us the truth about the media, that they're not only liberal, but they're liars. He told us the truth about the Chinese, that they're not our friends, that they've been at war with us for 30 years. And now he's telling us about this cocaine. Now, here's where it
oh
gets
come
better.
on.
The president's administration under Attorney General Bill Barr has indicted the president, Maduro, of Venezuela and many of his generals. So this is the first time that a head of state, I think maybe the Panamanian,
Yeah, the phone's ain't ringing,
might have
man.
been, the head of state has been indicted by the United States, and she is now characterized as a criminal. And if we can catch him, we will bring him to a prison sentence in the United States. Here's the difference. We tried to negotiate with him to get that young guy, I forgot his name, Gado or something.
J-Lo
who
or
was
something
the
like that.
Speaker of the House
Yeah.
in Venezuela, who was a real
Call this number, please.
believer in democracy.
And talk to him.
And
It's
he's really
really
the
somebody. I'll
legitimate
put you on
president
first caller. You're gonna
of
win.
Venezuela.
You're gonna freaking win.
We tried to get him in
Bada
there
bing,
through a
bada
deal.
boom.
And Maduro to leave. We said, Maduro,
And if you're in Cuba, a long
you can
distance,
go to Russia, you
long
can go to
distance
China.
call, right?
We
See,
won't
there it
invite
is,
you, we won't
1-800-922.
come after you, we won't do anything. And they
Just
almost had a
listen to the
deal.
story. Listen to the story.
But now, with this indictment, he can't go anywhere. He's done. If his
baby.
government falls,
Yeah,
and
baby.
Guaido takes over, he will invite the FBI to come down there and arrest him. So this is huge. This is a big deal. And here you go. This is socialist. This is Bernie's friends. Now I'm going to tell you a little quick story. People, you have probably heard, because I've talked about for years, of Casa de Maryland, Casa of Maryland, the Central American Solidarity Association. They are the major promoters of illegal aliens in the state of
Wow,
Maryland.
wow.
They have been responsible for bringing hundreds of thousands of illegal aliens. They are located in a mansion in Montgomery County.
Unbelievable.
That the taxpayers have paid for.
Taxpayers
Oh,
paid for it.
nah.
Martin O'Malley gave it to them.
Yes.
Oh, boy, oh,
Okay.
boy.
And all the liberal people
I'm
and
dying.
the Democrats in the General Assembly that support the lawmakers for lawbreakers, they support this organization, okay? And they just passed the bill. I think they passed the
That's
bill
terrible.
where libraries, I think, schools are all considered sanctuary places.
Yes, just like Baltimore County is.
Yeah, so the police can't go in there.
Oh,
Here's the story. The guy who is the head of Casa de Maryland and has been the head for many years and has gotten driver's license for illegals, discounted for in-state tuition for illegals, just got this other bill passed. He is the boss. He's the political boss of these politicians from Montgomery County
Jesus
and from
Christ.
Prince George's County. Guess where he was when Hugo Chavez was inaugurated 16 years ago when I was in the legislature. Hugo Chavez, the socialist communist who destroyed Venezuela,
Oh, man.
his successor is this guy Maduro.
2 minutes.
This guy, I'm sorry, I can't think of his name. I'll come up with it. He was on the stage with Hugo Chavez in Venezuela when he was sworn in, and he loved Hugo Chavez. He's a socialist communist, this guy,
God almighty.
that is running Maryland politics and politicians to
Oh,
help illegal immigrants. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back. We're going to tell you about a shameful thing that happened in Colorado. We're going to talk about Baltimore City. We're going to talk about seniors. And you can join the conversation. Give us a call at 410-922-6680. That's 410-922-6680. The toll-free long-distance number is 1-800.
The Carpenter's coming up.
6680. Ron Savage is our producer. I'm Pat McDonough. Valerie McDonough is here. We are glad to hear from you. We will be right back.
That's it.
Hail, shit, fire. Hail, shit, fire.
Such a feeling's coming over me. There is wonder in most everything.
I see.
Are you always apologizing for your dog's behavior?
Not at all. Not Betsy
Communicating
Bootsy. Not
and
Betsy
canine
Bootsy.
concepts, we can solve your problems. The answer to your problems is a phone call away. Call 410-477-2000 for a free demo evaluation. Call 410-477-2000. Obedience, protection, handicap assistance, boarding, grooming, puppy preschool. Visit canineconcepts.com for the best for your dog. Call 410-477-2000.
Are you facing tax problems? No matter how long it's been since you last filed, if you have faced unemployment, loss of a family member, divorce, or illness, and feel you
All right, no luncheon.
fix your tax problems,
Just having a nice luncheon today.
Service, the Tax Killer. With the Tax Killer,
I was going to go to a nice luncheon.
you have options you'll find nowhere else.
But no, the zombie apocalypse.
IRS employee has helped many Marylanders
Oh, Santa Grasso.
outside the state resolve their problems.
Santa Grasso.
With the Better Business Bureau.
How you doing, Santa Grasso?
To assist the
You
taxpayer.
see we have everybody here today. Everybody's here today.
They are here
Everybody.
all year, preparing each return as if it were their own.
Why? Because everybody's stuck in the house.
The Damage Tax Service met and was interviewed by Tom Barr.
Oh, boy, I tell you.
Her ads. So
Oh, yeah, Santa Grasso.
call
Santa Grasso's here.
employee or call at 410-869.
There he is. There you got it, baby. Nicholas Antioch.
869-829.
Hey,
Or log in to taxkiller.com.
Woo!
Taxkiller.com.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Greg Talbot with
Shut up.
Solution, a firm that helps people
Yeah.
with IRS and
We're
state
gonna
tax
come back.
issues.
We're gonna come back with
Tax returns can be overwhelming.
Santa Grasso might be a little young for this one, but there's a song called Mustang Sally.
Financial hardships. That is why our approach
You
is different.
better
We tailor our
slow
solution plan for
your
each client's
Mustang
situation to put you on a path
down.
to success. I'd say
Now.
from out-of-state companies with 800 numbers that offer
You wanna
quick
call?
solutions
Call.
and promises.
Talk about it. We got lines that are open now. Lines that are open. And if you're long distance, call 1-800-922-6668. Do that.
We've reduced tax debt by more than 90%. There's a way out.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff going on.
You work with local experts
Hey, man.
that are sincerely concerned for you.
Don't get all the paper. Oh, you want some good tile work? Go to Vince's Tile Work, okay? He's a longshoreman brother, and he's a good guy for Vince's Tile Works, right? Vince Palmer, man. He's the owner and the operator. Go to Facebook and see his work. He's always in the bathroom. But no, it's no bowel problem. He's got a wonderful creative, not a problem, but a division of everybody has to see because he all his work is on Facebook. So go to Vince's Tile Works, right? Vince Palmer. He's the owner and the operator. He's the boss. I'm the boss. So he does, you talk to him, he'll go right to you, and that's what's going to happen. He's a nice man. You can talk to him. He's not going to yell at you or nothing. No, I swear to God. So look, Vince Palmer, owner operator. Go to Facebook and you'll see. Hold on.
I know. I can't help it. There's so much crack going on here, and that's why we love it. Look, you all do what you want to do. Mark, look here. I'm not the Pied Piper, and you're not followers.
I'm
You're
the Pied
conservative.
Piper.
Some of you aren't conservative.
Oh, that's an
but
old song
you're
there.
Listen to this program, and we get into substance. Am I supposed to sit here every day?
Don't miss the great one. Weeknights at 10 on Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
And now more of the Pat McDonough Show on Talk Radio 680 WCBM and worldwide at WCBM.com.
Welcome back to Super Citizen Radio, and thank you for tuning in. Valerie, you were checking out, gentlemen, we were talking about
love that
who
song.
runs
I love that
as a
song.
political boss.
William Burzon. I know you might have played that.
The Central American Solidarity.
Mr. Blue here, Mr. Blue.
Yes, that gentleman would be Gustavo Torres.
Yes.
And he makes about $150,000 a year because the data that I was looking up was telling me from 2016, and you know that they all have
Pay increases, sure.
much pay increases. But what I also thought was that he was a president of another organization called CASA in action.
Well, that's the political arm.
Yeah, and
It's like the PAC.
And that's the PAC. And I wonder how many radical Democrat legislators they give money to.
They pay them all off, and they pay them off by, illegal immigrants voting.
Oh, of course. Well, not only that, you have to remember in-state tuition.
Well, they got in-state tuition.
They have in-state
driver's licenses.
Well, you fought for in-state tuition. I remember carrying these petitions.
Yeah, you were in charge of the petitions out in the field. You did a great job putting that together, and we did get it on the ballot.
We did get it on the ballot.
But George Soros gave $1 million to the state of Maryland to fight against it. We couldn't get money. This is what I complain about.
Crazy.
Yeah, okay, Pat, please stop complaining. Couldn't raise money to fight to pass it to stop and block the in-state tuition. But the radical left, they always get money. Their big guys give money. Our big guys don't give any money. Then they wonder why they're losing all the time. Soros gives $1 million to the other side. They buy
that's a lot of
and they
many
win the referendum.
Oh, the phone is ringing.
It works, and we saw that during that petition drive because no matter who you spoke to in there.
WCBM, the Pat McDonough Show. Ron Savage speaking to us all tonight, huh?
So against it. And of course,
hey, Carl McGee, let me get you in the magic computer.
We set a record how quickly.
And where you calling from, Carl?
These petition signatures all over the state.
Yes.
Now, Neil Parrott was there, of course, and he did it in the computer.
And what would you like to talk to Pat?
Signatures came in the field where you were organizing these people.
We had over 130,000.
Oh, you asked to call for you to call in?
Signed signatures.
Oh, you're the guest. Oh my God. Okay.
Okay, and they were all
okay.
Up. They were
the
all
guest.
They met all
okay, I'm going to put you right on. You're the guest. Now he's giving the signal. I'll get this whole on server. Get you right on.
Less than 13 days.
He's the guest.
A short period of time.
Yes.
And
I didn't know.
On the referendum because basically, they had the money, had $1 million from one person.
Yes, and not only that though, too. I think during that time, of course, it was an election year. I do believe a lot of illegal aliens were voting.
Well, now the other thing I wanted to mention is you have. We were supposed to do an event today on the 28th at Pappas's restaurant.
Yes.
And of course we canceled it. We couldn't do it because
I know. I was going to go. I was going to go.
But to assure everybody, because a lot of people responded and they wanted to be part of that event. It was
on Ansley Smith. On Partizan, Tennessee,
woo! A lot of people responded, and we're sorry, but we have no control. But we will do it again as soon as the COVID-19 is out of the ballpark and we're into the new world. We'll do it. We'll do it, and we'll send it out again.
That was my signature song.
Valerie has a Facebook. I don't have a Facebook. I had a Facebook. They hacked it. It was a huge Facebook. It was a monster. They hacked it, so it was doing good when they hacked it.
Well, you had over 15,000.
Forgot what I was doing.
People that would share stuff. They had friends, and
this is the visions of the mind. I'm a very kind of guy.
Yes, and over a month, a little bit over a month, I have 1,000 people already on my page.
Now, what is the name of your website?
It's Valerie McDonough.
That's it.
Valerie McDonough.
That's McDonough. Now, if you want to go there tonight or tomorrow, there's some interesting pictures. It's a stroll down memory lane.
Well, I think one of the things that everybody's talking about the virus and they're talking about this on the internet, and I wanted to do something completely different. And I wanted people to look back and go, wow, not things that we have done, but I wanted to think back during the time when there were special people in our life. And it really, really was. There was, the time with, you have talked about this on radio. In fact, we did the radio show about it when Sonny Bono actually did this radio show many years ago. Bob Ehrlich was the congressman. Sonny Bono was a congressman. Bob Ehrlich was having an event, and he arranged for us to come over there.
WCBM, the Pat McDonough Show. Ron Savage speaking, and who's calling tonight, huh?
At the hall in a room. And at that time, they didn't have
the way
they have it now. We had old cell phones. And that's how we worked the radio show. We had a producer here in the studio, and we used cell phones. And that picture's up there, and then there's a picture of
Well, wait a minute. It's a little more than that.
I'm right. I tell you what, it's Carl and you, Alex. You just hold on there.
Yes.
You're welcome. Hold on, please.
This is the last interview.
I was going to mention that.
This is the last interview that Sonny Bono made before he tragically died in that accident while he was skiing. It was his last
Yes, and what was interesting about that, because nobody had any clips of the last interview, and we did. And we actually gave
Wow.
to Fox Television,
See that?
and then they returned the videos to
That's
us.
very cool. That's very cool.
And then we have another picture of you
That's very cool.
with, do you want to say who this was? The fabulous Rudy Giuliani.
Well, it's not me, it's you. You're the
Well,
one standing next to him.
I know, but, you know, Rudy's there. And,
Hey, Rudy!
I thought that was an interesting picture that we had taken at an event many years ago.
Yeah, now that was right after, that goes back a few years, because that was right after 9/11, and Rudy visited us in Baltimore, not us particularly, but an event
Yes.
that he attended, and there's a
He's
photo
probably
there of
15,
you and
15,
me and Rudy. Rudy looks a lot different today.
All right, Betsy.
Well, I think
Betsy's
they all
out
in the hall.
look
Betsy's
a
out in the
little
hall.
different, but you know, it's you just age just a little bit. And then we have one of Kelly Ann Conway.
Yeah, that's me and Kelly.
And Kelly and you, many years ago, she did a fundraiser for you. She was the guest speaker, and she was just as sweet and intelligent then, and she's even more sweeter now and more intelligent.
Good.
She's a great person.
Yeah, so we have
Oh, it's a
some
9.
of those old photos. Now, the one we have.
WCBN, the Pat
This is,
McDonough
you
show.
know,
Sarah,
sometimes
speaking this phone, please.
like you meet people that you can't forget. You just
Hey, Pastor Lewis, how you doing? I'm all right. I'm all right.
in your life. And that person,
All right.
in that photo was Mr. Mangione.
Oh, you're not- no?
Mangione Senior. And
Oh.
he
Oh,
was
good,
given
good. That's good.
proclamation
That's
because
good.
of a lot of the wonderful things he
Yeah,
did.
stay ahead of
for
sickness in the
humanity,
cabin fever, you'll be all right. Ha.
different things
All right,
like that.
I'll pass
He
it, Lewis. You hold on. I'll
organizations,
put you on
but
hold.
one
I'm gonna let
thing
Pat
that
know
we
you're
talked
online.
about was
You're
politics
very welcome.
and being a
Let me
conservative.
put you online.
And I wonder now how he would feel knowing that his grandson is in the Maryland State Legislature.
Nino Mangione.
Nino
I gotta give him a
And I'm
secret
sure he's very
net.
proud of him.
Now, also in that photo,
I love secret notes.
Oh, and I forgot to mention this one was Tom Moore.
was not only Tom Moore,
This is all just like 15
Tom
seconds.
Moore, but it was also
Was it William Donald Schaefer?
William Donald Schaefer's in the same photo.
Yes,
And this was at the fairgrounds
in Timonium.
in Timonium. So there's some great photos if you want to go to see Valerie McDonough. That's it, right?
That's it.
All right. So we were talking earlier about the problems and the really the concerns about elderly people and the stress that they are put under here with this situation of this COVID-19, as they call
The
it.
secret message was
virus.
delivered
And we have our
successfully.
good friend
Do you have a secret message? I'll deliver it.
Carl McGee, the great Carl McGee, is called.
Savage mode
And
always
Carl
comes through.
tried to do something
All right.
about it. He was very concerned about this also.
I'm behaving.
So we're glad that Carl called in. We want to talk to him. Carl, good evening.
How are you doing, Pat?
We're doing good, Carl. Thank you. Now, you had thought about this. Now, you're in the business of Medicare.
Correct.
Yeah, so that's your business. So naturally, you know a lot about Medicare and elderly people and people of that sort. And
Yes.
there
Medicare.
are a lot of elderly people in Baltimore County.
Oh,
And you became
Something's popping on the
concerned about
switch.
these people being isolated. Who is looking out for them? How are they being contacted? And that came something
All right,
that
man.
you were thinking about.
Yeah, well, what happened, Pat?
Oh, it's Dr. Graff! Dr. Graff is here.
We started getting phone calls from clients, and these folks, you got to understand that there's a lot of senior citizens, especially in Baltimore County, that are 70, 80, 85 years old, that they're not sitting in front of a computer all day. They don't have access to the internet. And if they did go on a website, they wouldn't know where to look. So, we were getting phone calls as their Medicare agents, and these folks were basically asking for help, basically saying, where do I go? Who do I call? And we kind of, we're a small agency, and myself and a couple other agents, we took the bull by the horns, and
By the horn,
we
man.
were actually going out
By the horn,
to
man.
my clients, and it was funny. At the beginning, we were actually picking up envelopes with money in the doorway where a client would leave money in an envelope in the doorway to their home. We would take the envelope, go to the grocery store, bring back some food or toilet paper, whatever, leave it on their front step with their envelope, with their change in the bag, with their food. And we've continued to do that for some folks because you have to understand what you're dealing with here. You have some seniors out there that have no family. They have no one to look after them, no one to call. And, you know, like I said, we became their family in this. And it's easy to get overwhelmed with something like that very, very quickly. So we reached out to a couple of our local politicians, a couple, resource centers that.
Does Dustin hear
these
this?
folks.
Does Nancy Lee Smith?
You have to understand,
Hear this?
everyone's trying to direct folks to a web page, which is fine if you have access to the internet.
Which these folks don't have.
No.
A lot of folks, Pat, they're sitting back and they watch the local news channels. That's all they have. So, you know, they were asking for a phone number, for a phone number, for a phone number. So it appears that a lot of folks right now in our local government are stepping up. I have an emergency number that people can call. I can give it to you right on the air right now if you want it.
Yeah, sure, you can do that.
You know, anyway, if folks need help, it's 410-887-3816. That's the emergency number. Now, there's also a food access number.
Give me that other number again, that first number, Carl.
Okay, the first number is 410-887-3816.
Okay.
That's the emergency number. Now, there's also a food access number, and this is coming right off the Baltimore County site. But again, you know, a lot of folks they don't have access.
Yeah, it's complicated.
So the food access is 410-887-2594. So, you know, my thoughts are this. You know, we're still doing what we can, you know, with friends and family and our clients. And folks, what we have to do is reach out to the most vulnerable among us. And, you know, take care of your neighbor, take care of your neighbor's neighbor. We'll get through this, but we have to make something easily accessible to a lot of the senior citizens because they have no way to get out.
Yeah, there needs to be.
If we don't get out there and do something and be proactive, we're going to have a catastrophe.
Yeah, and yourself and some others, I mean, we can only do so much. The county executive, which I'll get in touch with, and we will try to have a more specific organization of some type. But you've got to have something like the county. You've got to have the county agencies, and I'm sure they have access to a number of people who meet a certain age, like 70 plus or something, and they have that list to find out and get in touch with these people and find out if they're okay. I mean, you're doing a good job, and you know it's hard to do it though because, as you pointed out, Baltimore County has one of the largest number of elderly people. In fact, when I was with the county executive's office, I was told that we have the largest number of elderly people in the whole country, with the exception of Florida.
Come on, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What's this running stupid for? You're
There's
supposed to drag a song down. I'm picking all these wonderful songs. And
myself,
wait a minute. Dustin has something to say.
Our current,
Those in the country who have to drive 20 to 30 minutes to the store just to find empty shelves and gauge prices are hurting too.
We have to take the extra step.
Yes, that's the problem, right? Yeah, these people have to be contacted, whether it's the police or something.
See, I think too what they could also do is put these numbers on television. I haven't seen any of this stuff.
If I rode 20 to 30 minutes to the store, and there was
that's what I'm trying to get done.
empty shelves and gauge prices,
they're sitting back watching the
somebody
news channels.
is in trouble. When I go to a store, hey, how you doing? Huh? Can I have some? Do you have a mango? Can I have a mango? Maybe, huh?
TV for these people to call.
And one of the things
Look
too,
at that.
Carl, is that a lot of these seniors and everything, they might even be afraid to ask. I know that sounds crazy, but it's they're reluctant to ask because they don't want somebody coming to their house that they don't know because they're afraid of getting hurt.
Yes.
Send Dustin over there. They like him, right? Right.
You know, my clients call me personally, crying on the phone. And you know, I had one lady.
That's not right. That's bad. That is bad.
She has no one to reach to. She doesn't have a computer. She called me crying, basically saying, "Carl, can you help me?" And of course, I'm going to help her. But we had to come up with a way that, you know, she wanted to hug me and kiss me but you know, we want to keep it safe. And that's how we came up with the idea. I told her, I said, look, you know, just leave your money in an envelope. I'll get it. I'll bring you your food.
Yeah.
And that's how we started doing that.
Yes, but you know, the hidden danger in that, Carl, is there's going to be people that you do it because you have a very good heart. But there's going to be people that do not have a good heart, and somebody's going to get hurt with this. The county should have a way of reaching out to the people, whether they put it on the phone. They could even do it on the phone line. I mean, they have the statistics. They know where all the people live. They can call their house and, you know, kind of like do it like a robocall type of thing, and say, hey, you know, do you need anything? Just call this number, and have some of the county employees come out and help, or, you know, have a little organization that will come out and get the groceries for people.
Well, it has to be more specific. Quite frankly, to be honest, what Carl is doing is really fantastic, and it's wonderful, and it's very good. It's helping a lot of people, but there needs to be an organized.
Dustin says,
by the county executive.
I'm truly surprised.
We need to know the numbers.
Baltimore hasn't started.
The numbers are going to be figured out. But remember, these people are not only isolated.
Me too.
But you know, in the past, they could go to what? They could go to the senior places, like the different organizations. But now they can't. They are just stuck.
But then you got to think of the people too that do not drive. Okay, so that's
a lot of them,
and a lot of them don't.
Most of them. All right. Well, what we're going to do, we're going to work with you. We're going to definitely work with you, Carl, and we'll talk with you some more about all of this, and we'll see what we can do. We need to get the county, the Department of Aging. They have all this information, and they're just going to have to go out on the streets and make visitations and find out who's out there and what's going on.
I think the better way to go would be calling.
Val,
well, they can call, yeah.
Val, you and I were on the same page with this, and what has to happen again? These
WCBM, the McDONOUGH showrun. So I was speaking. Who's calling tonight, please?
The local news to put these numbers.
Yeah, they got to make a story up.
Yeah, who's calling?
They
real
definitely
quick,
do, because I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard anything. They really not to bring this, and we will get in touch. We'll get in touch and we'll talk with you. We'll get in touch and try to get the word out that they need to start talking about this publicly, and something has to be done because it's going to get worse.
Pat, if we don't do something,
hey, did you want to go on the air?
I can see what's happening.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for that information.
Now,
you cocksucker.
If it happens exponentially with those numbers,
oh,
if we're not
I said it.
We're going to have a catastrophe.
I said, no, Eileen, I didn't say no, I swear to God.
Someone has to do it. They got to do it the day before yesterday.
2 minutes on a break.
Sit back and wait.
All right. Well, listen, very much. We thank you. We'll be back in touch with you, okay? And we'll work on this and see what we can get done.
I'll wait for your call, Pat.
All right. Thank you very much. We'll be right back. We need to take a break.
Stalled out front will try and lift north as a warm front early on Sunday, and then a cold front will move through the west later on Sunday. Now we're looking at patchy fog, clouds, maybe some stray showers, fall back to around 50. Early clouds and fog for Sunday. Some scattered thunderstorms later in the day. Low to mid-60s.
Oh, hello, Pastor.
Still looking at a stray shower thunderstorm
Hi,
Sunday night.
Pat just
52 for the overnight.
She said,
Monday. And
he had
60s
another
for the
guy coming
afternoon.
in.
I'm Jeff Eno with Weather Channel for Talk Radio 680 WCBS.
Allow me to offer some sound advice. More than 35 million men, women, and children have hearing loss, and the number is growing. You need to begin your journey toward healthy hearing now by calling Clarity and Comfort Hearing Center at 410-256-1006. The center is located in Perry Hall. Begin your journey to healthy hearing by calling Clarity and Comfort Hearing Center at 410-256-1006. This message is sound advice.
Please listen. This is important. Anyone can be affected by the prescription opioid crisis. If you think you've been hurt by Purdue or its prescription opioids like OxyContin, you may be entitled to compensation as part of Purdue's bankruptcy, but you have to file a claim. Claims may include overdose, death, substance use disorder, lost wages, and neonatal abstinence syndrome. Confidential claim can be filed by individuals, a legal guardian, by survivors or relatives of people who have died or are disabled. The deadline to file a claim is June 30th, 2020, or you will lose your right to file a claim. For more information, visit PurduePharmaClaims.com, or you can call toll-free 1-844-217-0912. That's 1-844-217-0912. Paid for by Prime Clerk, LLC.
When your vehicle needs help, Jeff's Automotive Services is the place to go. Your vehicle will be worked on by Automotive Service ASE certified technicians. Jeff services all vehicles, including cars, SUVs, trucks, both medium and light duty, and there are always specials available at Jeff's Automotive Services. Just call 410-682-5700. Jeff's Automotive Services is locally owned and conveniently located in the heart of Essex at 313 Mace Avenue. Jeff's is the winner of the Best Automotive Service Award for 2019 by the Avenue Newspaper's Readers Poll. Jeff's offers 10% discounts to all seniors and active military members and would like to thank our military members for their service. Jeff's Automotive Services has a name you can trust. Remember, call 410-682-5700 for Jeff's Automotive Services.
Are you concerned about having a CT, MRI, or other radiology exam? Know what to expect and how to prepare. Visit radiologyinfo.org for over 245 easy-to-understand descriptions of radiology procedures, exams, and treatments. Ease your concerns and visit radiologyinfo.org today. Produced by the Radiological Society of North America and the American College of Radiology.
Listen every Sunday from 6 o'clock.
Dana! And also, nobody else does that for you, baby. Just me.
Are you facing tax problems? No matter how long it's been since you last filed, if you have faced unemployment, loss of a family member, divorce, or illness, and feel you can't afford to fix your tax problems, contact Advantage Tax Service, the Tax Killer. With the Tax Killer Rescue Plan, you have options you'll find nowhere else. Since 1989, Rose Harbaugh, former IRS employee, has helped many Marylanders and others outside the state resolve their problems. Advantage Tax Service has an A+ rating with a better.
So look, all you guys.
And works overtime to assist the taxpayer to avoid additional penalty and interest. They are here, all year, comparing each return.
You want to? Let's get a special T-shirt, all right? You know, like those Corona T-shirts or something. Who can make that for you? My buddy Steve Bluford can at Bluefish Apparel. He'll make you a nice freaking plague shirt, you know, Grim Reaper, all that stuff, and he does a great job. He really does. He's a nice man too. He won't holler at you. Tell him what you like, you know, and he makes scoozies, all that stuff. And take a picture of your mom, the dog, anything, and put it on the shirt, put it on a scoozy. He did it for me. He did it for me. So look, call this guy. 443-278-4853. 443-278-4853. Steve, he's a wonderful man. He's a wonderful man. The song coming up is now, but not one, but 2 tickets
The deadline to file the claim
to
is June
paradise.
30th, 2020, or until lose your claim.
I love
For more information, visit PurduePharmaClaims.com, or you can call toll free 1-844-217-0912. That's 1-844-217-0912. Paid for by Prime Clerk, LLC.
And now more of the Pat McDonough Show on Talk Radio 680 WCBM and worldwide at WCBM.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Pat McDonough, along with Valerie McDonough, and we're going to be joined by our favorite pastor. And here he is, Pastor Lewis. No, wait a minute. Let me try again. Do this.
9.
Jump over here.
9.
Pastor Lewis, how are you?
Hi, Pat. Hi, Valerie. How you all doing tonight?
We're doing well. What is on your mind this evening?
Well, I enjoyed that last call. We need more calls out there. And I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm calling on Christians everywhere to put feet to your faith. Don't let a crisis go to waste. Help your neighbors, your family, your friends. Call them. Stop for them. Don't be a Christian in name only. Wear your faith on your sleeve. Do as Jesus said. Love thy neighbor. Come on. I mean, if we get people acting the way they're supposed to be and following their faith, we could really get this into bud.
Well, there's been a lot of things happening. The president, I think, has done a really good job. He's being criticized, of course, as usual, by these same, conspirators and the same gang of criticizers. But, he's doing a good job. He's got 60% approval from people in general, according to the various polling situations. He's doing a good job.
Well, you know what? He is America's CEO, and I'm so glad he is the president. He fixes things. He builds things. We have a capitalistic nation. Who better than a capitalist to lead us? He has great foresight in these things. That's why he understands that you can't shut down a multi-trillion-dollar economy for too long. He said you can't let the cure be worse than the problem. We need to get behind them. And again, we know that the left is never going to do that, but the right sits on their hands.
Well, the other thing that's happening, I think is very interesting, is he's now talking about certain areas like, of course, New York, of course, California, of course, New Orleans now, and also, of course, Chicago. And he wants to make it clear that we have certain areas are going to be treated certain ways. Like they're going to be, for example, there's going to be surrounding areas that will not accept people from New York and even New Jersey to go to Florida, places like that. And that in certain parts of the country, they're not having a real bad experience with COVID-19. They're just not having a real bad situation. But in areas where it is really bad, there needs to be quarantines. And he's doing that. And also, he came up and presented the presidential power when it comes to military power and the exercise the authority to do certain kinds of things. Like he couldn't get one of the companies, I don't know who it was, it might have been Ford, I'm not sure, or General Motors, that they were not doing the right work that needed to be done. They weren't doing it quickly enough, and he criticized them publicly, and he used that military power authority that he made for the rest of the country and for the Ford people, that they were not helping to make what do they call that? The things that are like the inventories or the I forgot what they call. No, not the stock, the ventilators.
Right. Yeah, Ford took the lead on that, and the other car manufacturers ought to be able to do the same thing. Absolutely. Listen, there's another.
Get one of these things. It's like a little.
Ask you because
it's like a little thing.
So you're not hearing anything on the local news about getting a number out to help the seniors. I'll tell you something else. I have not been able to get
a disinfectant thing.
Little or no information on. I understand Governor Hogan signed a bill earlier this week shutting down the abortion clinics. Now, have you heard that?
No, I haven't. I don't know if that's.
That is huge news. I got an email from Maryland Right to Life telling me that. Delegate Dan Cox, who I do not know, apparently was instrumental in working with the governor. Delegate Metzger checked on it for me and said, yes, he indeed did do that. But again, it's not reported anywhere because it doesn't fall into the left's camp. You know, they don't support this.
Well, the governor's doing a good job. I have to admit it. I'm not a big fan of the governor in certain reasons or for certain things, but he's doing a good job. He's doing what needs to be done. And this so-called, the part of it that they call the, what do they call that? The apex, or it's a certain word they're using. I can't think of what it's called. About within 2 weeks from now in the country, that we're going to reach that point. It's the apex, I think it's called.
Right.
And basically, hopefully that will be done, and we will be able to overtake a few things that will open things up in certain states, for example, like Maryland, perhaps.
Yeah, really,
things
man.
are bad. Things are happening. The president has done a lot of good things that are needed, and at some point, people are going to maybe be able to have the new the new normal. I'm sorry to say, and they will be able to do certain things. Yeah. But certain places like New York, California, Chicago, basically these are going to be quarantined countries or states.
It's going to take a while, and it should.
Yeah,
I agree. But places like Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, I can't imagine they have much of a problem at all in those places, and those people should be able to go to work.
Right. Fortunately, they have, and fortunately also, I mean, I do give credit, although there was a lot of games that were played by the Democrats in passing the $2 trillion effort, which is needed, and it was passed, and they worked together on that for some degree, but a lot of times they were wrong, and they were playing politics, especially, of course, our good friend over there, the county, not the county, but I'm talking about the Democrats and the Speaker of the House. But a big problem, but they finally did get it passed.
Right.
All right, well, listen, we are going to see you on Monday.
Right.
Over at our office to do our certain, of course, consolation on the news. We're going to have that on. But also, you can tell us about your great church and where that's located and how can get in touch with you about that.
Well, I would love to invite everyone to church tomorrow. Unfortunately, we're not able to open the doors at this point. Yeah. However, you can watch me on Facebook Live at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning, and then we rerun it on YouTube early in the afternoon. My message is going to be titled, After the Quarantine. Do you know that Noah was the first person in the Bible who was quarantined? He was on that boat for 371 days. These people on the cruise ships think they had it rough. Noah was out there with just his family and a zoo full of animals for 371 days riding out that flood. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow. What happens after the quarantine?
Well, that's going to be fascinating. Thank you for joining us, and we're glad to hear from you, and we will see you. Also, the location of your hotel. Church. It's not a hotel, your church.
Church. Sometimes I feel like it is out there.
Yeah, the hotels are closed, but the church, for the future, we'll get back to
that's it. That's it.
And tell people where you're located.
We're at the corner of Harford and Cub Hill Roads, north of Beltway exit 31B, B is in Bible, about 1.5 miles north on the left, Harford and Cub Hill Roads. Can't miss us.
All right. Well, thanks very much for joining us. That's our pastor. We're glad you for hearing from us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and God bless you both.
God bless you. All right. So anyway, all right. Well, let's see if we're getting it all. Get a call here, and let's try to get that in. I think it's Alex, so let's hear from Alex.
Go ahead, Alex.
Alex,
go ahead.
Oh, hi. Good evening, Pat and Val. It's nice to hear you have your show on today. I like the calls from Carl. I like them from Pastor Lewis. They're very, very nice, very informative. There's a lot of basic issues that I'm thinking of is the $2.2 trillion.
Wow.
I agree with some
of
the
wait a
things.
minute.
I know they
Wait a
several times to pass it.
Got a smudge. Woo! Melissa, come on. Woo! Yeah, baby.
Other things in with it. I don't know if the Democrats are holding a gun to them, to our president or to Republicans. I know it was a 96-0 vote. To me, that sounds very suspicious. That's 96-0. I believe that's the vote. If I have it right, maybe you can tell me I'm not right, but that was right, 96-0. That sounds awful strange. Somebody must have really bribed him, maybe. I hope they didn't bribe him.
50 seconds for it, right?
This is an awful strange vote to be all the way unanimous. What the heck is going on there? I don't like this. I don't like the numbers. It's kind of strange. So there should have been somebody standing up. I know Mitt Romney was known as the president. He was against him. Many of them are jealous of him and want to take his place and finally take his place. So somebody might think our president stuff right now. We never feel great about you, but the Republicans try to take his place.
Okay, well, Alex, we appreciate you calling in. We got to take a break for the news, okay? So thanks for the call. Appreciate it very much. Pat McDonough, along with Valerie, we will be right back, but we have to take a break for the news.
Stay connected with stimulating talk.
Whoa, that was close.
On Talk Radio.
Oh, that was close. Oh, I'm so good, I can't take it.
And WCBM.com.
Fighting the pandemic and Mother Nature. I'm Jane Metzler, Fox News. As the number of coronavirus deaths tops 2,000 in this country, another life-threatening concern, violent weather, a tornado tearing through Jonesboro, Arkansas. Homes, businesses, including a mall, damaged. Some people taken to the hospital. The National Guard called in to secure the area and help with search and rescue. A gas leak also reported.
Everybody having a good time. Melissa Cooper, hey. Hey, I'm having a good night there. Melissa, I'm doing all right. Betsy Butcher's here.
One in Arkansas,
Betsy Butcher.
one up in portions of western Illinois, and then you have severe thunderstorms.
I'll bring her in later.
stretching
Take it easy.
So this is a large system. There's a real bullseye, and it's targeting an area from St. Louis up towards Chicago, back towards Des Moines, and over towards Indianapolis. This is an area where we see the best chance of seeing possibly some really major tornadoes. This is going to be playing and unraveling over the next couple of hours. This is something that'll slowly be wrapping down as we head overnight. It's going to be a big storm.
Fox meteorologist Adam Plott. Arkansas's governor today signing into law a bill establishing a COVID-19 rainy day fund. That state has more than 400 coronavirus cases, 5 deaths so far, 2 more today. New York State hardest hit, 52,000 coronavirus cases with more than 700 deaths.
There's an old expression, you go to war with what you have, not with what you need, which is true. When the bell goes off and you have to go to war, you deal with what you have because it's too late to do the preparation.
Governor Andrew Cuomo not liking this. President Trump's proposal to quarantine New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. America's listening to Fox News.
It's a very confusing and stressful time right now, especially for our wounded and ill veterans and their caregivers. Practice social distancing, wash your hands frequently, and stay at home to avoid exposure. If you don't have symptoms or have questions, use secure messaging through My Healthy Vet or the VA telehealth service. If you develop symptoms, please call your local VA facility. We will get through this. For more details, visit va.gov/coronavirus.
Lives that inspire. How has the right to pursue happiness changed your life?
Shows that uplift.
This is so incredible.
Stories that make us believe.
Give it to God. He is doing this for a reason.
Plus, Fox Nation presents the motion picture event, The Passion of the Christ, streaming now for a limited time. Fox Nation invites you to keep the faith. Start your first month of Fox Nation now for just 99 cents.
He was an Okie obstetrician from Muskogee, delivered more than 4,000 babies. Then Tom Coburn became a tax and budget-cutting member of the House and Senate, joking that he had a flat forehead from beating his head against the wall. The Oklahoma Republican, who retired from the Senate in 2016, died this morning at 72. He'd been diagnosed with prostate cancer. Said that Tim Scott of South Carolina telling Fox's News.
Oh, yeah, it's gone. It's gone. Anyone for tennis, wouldn't that be nice? I wonder who knows that song. Huh? Anyways.
Former President Barack Obama called him a giant who led so many of us.
Sunday mornings.
The Reverend Joseph Black, who helped Dr. Martin King found the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, passed away his home in Atlanta. He was 98. His family says Reverend Lowry died of natural causes unrelated to the coronavirus outbreak. Falling victim to the outbreak goes with lottery jackpots.
All right, it's going to be next week. Next week, Super Citizens with Pat McDonough on my TV, right? Okay, you catch it on Comcast. I think it's channel 24, and Verizon. Move your fat finger. On Verizon, it's channel 46. 46 got an accident, but he's doing all right. He's doing all right. It's traction, and all your cards are well meant. Thank you very much.
Fox News. Country music star Joe Diffie tested positive for coronavirus.
My
One of the
God!
Grammy winners' big hits in the 1990s. Prop Me Up Beside the Jukebox. I'm Jane Metzler, and this is Fox News.
Called out front will try and lift north as a warm front early on Sunday, and then a cold front will move through the west later on Sunday. Now we're looking at patchy fog, clouds, maybe some stray showers. Fall back to around 50. Early clouds and fog for Sunday. Some scattered thunderstorms later in the day. Low to mid 60s. Still looking at a stray shower thunderstorm Sunday night. 52 for the overnight.
I heard thunder. Did anybody hear thunder today? I heard thunder. Betsy don't like thunder at all.
Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
Hey, Mike, I usually run into your wife Susan here at the supermarket.
Susan had to find a part-time job ever since we retired.
Hey, Betsy, come here. Good, Betsy, say hi to Betsy. Come on, Betsy, I'm going to say hi. Come here.
BenefitsCheckup.org is a free website where people over 60 can see if they qualify for help to pay for food, medicine, even utilities.
All right, there she is again. Betsy Bootsy. Say hi, Betsy Bootsy. Her model, her idol is the RCA dog and everything.
Every day, Doctors Without Borders teams confront hard facts in conflict and crisis zones. When others might look away, we step in to act. Because measles still kills more than 100,000 children.
Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? I'm going to go out again.
To vaccinate over 1 million worldwide.
Yeah, she loves it. She loves it. She loves it. I love that animal. I love that animal.
Because half of all maternal deaths occur during delivery or within 24 hours.
Yes.
We've assisted more than 1.3
Well, like I said, this is going to be next week. So next week at 10 o'clock, check them out. It's going to be great. Right on there.
Only have 1 or 2 mental
What else we got here?
We offer counseling and clinical care, providing over 400,000 mental
What the hell's that, a blank paper?
on a dangerous journey north from Central America.
Oh, look.
The fact is, your acts of care and
What the hell is this?
compassion
Hey, look, you want to get in touch with Pat? Look, I got his, look. I got his mail, man. Yeah, there it is. All right.
410-266-1120.
The views and opinions you hear on Talk Radio 680 WCBM and WCBM.com are not necessarily those of the owners, management, employers, and advertisers of WCBM, but they should be.
The Pat McDonough Show is brought to you by Rally for America. And now more of the Pat McDonough Show on Talk Radio 680 WCBM and worldwide at WCBM.com.
Hello, everybody. Pat McDonough, along with Valerie McDonough here on Rick TV. Well, it's not TV, it's Rick. But the TV will be on next Sunday. Our TV show will be on next Sunday, and it'll be on at 10 o'clock on Sinclair Broadcasting. Please tune in and join the program. And we'd love to have you watch it. Of course, this is radio, and this is a great radio show that you can listen to. I'm going to talk about seniors 52 million Americans in this country are over 65 years of age. And a lot of them, they have been cut off from their families and from their friends, except maybe tuning with people on the phone calls. They get maybe families, but as they were talking about earlier with Carl McGee, a lot of people are just not being called to. They're isolated by themselves. They're not,
because they don't know any better, Pat. They do not know where to go, who to call. They just do not have the numbers. And if you had a local television station that would put the numbers down to help or post it somewhere, on one of, a lot of the seniors do not do, the computer. They don't.
They don't have. Most
So
of them, 90%, they get in touch by telephone. But you need to have people. I don't know how many are actually some way being contacted, knocking on their offices, by office, knocking on the door, finding out if they need food or how they can.
The quickest way they could do that, I would think, would be by television, and I also think it would be by having a system like where there's something happening in your neighborhood and 911 people call you and say, okay, don't go here, this is what's going on, please stay in your house. They could have a system like that hooked up in Baltimore County or the different counties all over the state of Maryland where they can contact people real quick. They have the numbers.
Yeah, but Baltimore County needs to do that. The county executive and all the agencies for the county, the senior citizens department and all the other departments.
Yes, Department of Aging.
Yeah, Department of Aging, and getting in trouble and getting in touch with different people and getting information out and find out who is available that needs help. And I don't think it's being done. And as was pointed out earlier with Carl McGee, that these folks, 90% of them don't even get involved on the computer, and they just don't do that. And they don't, so they're just isolated. These are people where there's no communication.
Well, I have called some neighbors that, for whatever the reason is, they have other health issues, and their children are actually scared to be around them, to go over and see them because they're afraid they might be carrying the virus, to give it to their father, mother, something like that. So I have asked them, a couple of our neighbors, I said, if you need anything from the store, let me go. When I go out, I'll pick up the stuff for you. And they were very appreciative of it.
Well, I think there's a lot of people like you and Carl and other people who are trying to help, but there are so many people. There really needs to be a very organized process.
Yes, it
very
does.
Organized effort.
I'd say so.
The county executive to help lead on this issue. We need to get in touch with the county executive and find out what is being done.
No, the old people, man, make sure they're all right. You know what I mean? Make sure they're all right.
It's interesting too, in a larger sense. The boomers are now being overwhelmed by the COVID-19 that we're talking about. They are the most vulnerable victims. And their retirements, not only are they the most vulnerable that can be harmed and more dangerous from the vulnerable to the disease itself, but now their retirements, their pensions, the 401ks are being destroyed by the same monster. They're losing a lot of money now. Maybe the market is turning around now and it can come back, but it's very different for people that have their retirements that are being torn apart by the reduce in the
stock market.
Yeah,
the stock market did go up the other day, but then again it started to drop and then it went back up. You said a couple of weeks ago that they should really shut down the stock market.
Yeah, I think there should be an effort where they get off and have a recession or whatever you want to call it, where you don't use the stock market for about a year or so. But now what's happening is it looks like it's starting to stabilize. In the past week, there was a 4,000 point comeback, and then there was a drop on Friday where it went down 9. But it looks like it is starting to go back towards a more normal kind of situation.
But one of the problems right now that I see with the stock market is if they say, and I'm using this as an example, 5,000 people died. Guess what? There's a sell-off, and that's what causes a big problem. Because once people that play the stock market, once they start seeing it come down, they automatically panic and they sell, and it ends up driving the stock market down even further.
Well, one of the things that's interesting is once again, I can't remember when it was the last time there was something, I think it was after 9/11, where when you take your 401k and you withdraw money out of the 401k because you need it because of something you may need it for some problems. When you withdraw that 401k money, you also then have to pay taxes. You have to pay state and federal taxes. Well, 9/11, they suspended the taxes and they allowed people to take money out of their 401k. Like if you take out 10,
and that's something that they should do now.
Yeah, well, that's what you're thinking about doing.
I think it's an excellent idea.
But it's interesting about the boom.
Nicholas Antioch has a point.
You know, the whole generation that we're talking about.
Nicholas Antioch says, "Can you imagine how elder
generation
finances would be if it wasn't for the 150 plus records that happened with the market since Trump came in?
Civil rights, the walk on the moon, tune in, turn on, drop out, you know, the Beatles, all kinds of things, medicine, scientific technology creations. There's all the boomers, you know, for all these years, and now that was the good old days. And for some people, especially the boomers, they think that the good old days were just 3 months ago.
Yes.
So to get back to the good old days again, and there are, like, the great thing about them is they will have a last hurrah, a great hurrah when it comes to voting for the presidential race. They turn out. Those 52 million, they come out and vote, whereas the so-called millennials and the socialists and the young votes, they don't come out and vote.
Yes, but wait a minute. We learned a little lesson in the last election. Remember all the Bernie supporters that were coming out and coming out during the last election?
Oh.
So, you know, I mean, there's always people
Jimmy Bazaars.
Free stuff, and they're there. They do come out.
Jimmy Bazaars.
Well, here's another thing. We're talking about the leadership. The leadership and about the president.
Great lawyer, Jimmy Bazaars. Call him up. Call him up right now.
People don't get all the criticism all the time, but Joe Biden has been trained to become a robot, and he listens to what Nancy Pelosi as the speaker. He follows all the cheap shots and talking points. That's what Biden talks about.
Well, he's like you said, he's just a robot. He cannot think for himself, and when he does talk, sometimes I don't even understand what he's saying.
Well, the president, the thing about him is he's demonstrating everyday real leadership. You know,
by listening to her. Okay.
No, I'm talking about.
I thought you were talking about Biden. Yes,
Trump. Well, Biden, he just follows the talking points. He listens to Nancy Pelosi, but the president every single day is providing leadership to the American people. Biden, Pelosi, and Schumer, you know, they all play politics.
Schumer!
During a great crisis when they're playing games.
And they're playing games with people's lives.
Yeah,
and it's dangerous.
And then they talk about the media. They do with the media. They're the co-conspirators, and they have the negative campaign, and it's between them doing all the phony talks, and they all three together, they attack who? The president.
The president. Well, we actually have some people that attack the president, want to claim all the glory for themselves.
Right, and then you look at President Trump, and I mean, he delegates responsibility. They claim, oh well, he's just talking all the time, and he's the one that has. He's the leader. He's the one that tells everybody what to do, and then it's up to. And then what they do is they say, well, I'm not going to do it. We're going to do it this way. They're the ones fighting back. Yeah, well, I mean, he has the experts. He has the experts like the various doctors and the medicines and the scientists, the medication people. They go, the president say what he has to say, but he has all those people testify in these presentations.
And what's it?
WCBM, the Pat McDonough Show, Ron Savage speaking. Who's calling tonight, please?
CNN, they come on and they'll argue with the doctors. They'll argue.
Sure thing. And what's your name again, sir?
They'll argue. Just the opposite, saying, basically calling them the liar, and they're the ones that have the knowledge. The doctors and all that are the ones that have the knowledge.
Well, this president has, he has used the various professionals.
Yes.
You're welcome. And what's your topic tonight, sir?
And he has delegated, and he's been a leader. And Joe Biden and the Democrats, they use the crisis bailout as an opportunity to promote their own political agenda, including when they tried to get this $2.2 trillion. They talk about the new Green Deal, the new so-called new Green Deal. They have extremist position on the environment. They want to give money to
Nancy Pelosi's
illegal
bill.
immigrants. They want to give $50 million to the
Exactly.
to New York, to the museum in New York. You know,
It sounds like the Democrat. I hate to say this.
2 minutes.
But it sounds like the Democrats.
I'll tell you what, Ed. I'm going to put you on very next.
yeah, well, they're extremists.
Maybe
but
after
yeah,
this.
And you talk about like the
Our home, please.
emergency crisis.
All right. My pleasure, sir.
Gauges the
Thank you.
censorship.
That's a good guy there. That's a good guy.
National press conference. The fake news. It's amazing that the international news, CNN, all of them, they want to take away exposing and televising the president's announcements. The president's
sure, so they can preach your propaganda.
Yeah.
But I think with the president, and I actually.
But they want to take him off the air. Here's the president of the United States.
And I actually think President Trump should sue them for that because they're violating his freedom of speech and they're also violating me in a way.
Right. Well, the Washington Post, Rachel Maddow, the biggest liar on television, Jake Pack, the CNN, they're all saying they're leading the charge to try to get the president off. But CNN,
And what would you like to talk to the guy?
the rest, wait a minute, the rest of they have lied so much. They have lied for the past 3.5 years. They've lied with fake news forever. If anybody should be turned off, they should be turned off.
She's doing fine. Hey, look, I'm going to let you go because we're on a commercial break. We'll be right on after the commercial.
CNN's just tanking.
All right, brother, there's
Let's
only one
talk
person
with
ahead of
Ed.
you.
Where is it? There it is. Ed, good evening.
Hi, Pat. Hi, Valerie. How you doing?
Hi, Ed. I'm doing fine, and you?
Real good, real good.
Great.
You had mentioned Nancy Pelosi before with the bill that was just passed by the president, but before that time, had not a bill actually been agreed upon by Senator McConnell and Cardin and the like before Nancy Pelosi came to town? Hello?
You're talking about the money that they were going to use?
Yeah, Pat, apparently in the Senate, they had gotten together and they were all set to pass the bill. And then at the end of the day, after she came back, they said no. And then it was reworked, and apparently a good deal of pork was added to it.
Yeah, they tried to put in all kinds of specialties. They wanted to give money for the illegal immigrants. They wanted to force a situation where if small business owners...
Well, we're coming out, the song's going to be not cold, but hot.
Bloody. Small business owners, in order to get the money the way Pelosi wanted to do it, is that they would be forced to have $15 per hour for their current employees, which was not even the national law.
Now, did we manage to keep that out, or what pork did they get in? I guess
they got that out, but they did get a lot of pork in there, not as much as they wanted. The Senate voted 96-0. The House representatives voted for it, but they tried to get certain things. They didn't get what they wanted, but they got some of it. But it turned out the right way. Not as good as it should have been, but they had the president and the Republicans had to let some of this stuff go by to make sure that this $2 trillion was passed, and it's good that it passed because we are needing this money to keep the economy going. And if things reach the apex in 2 weeks, and there's going to be all these benefits going out, and that $2 trillion going into the economy for the next 30 days, maybe 6 weeks.
Good stuff you're listening to.
That'll get the market moving, the stock market and everything else, and that's what we're hoping for. They may have to need a force. They had the first three. This was the third one that was passed by the Congress and signed by, and they're thinking about a fourth economic bill coming.
Yeah. Was that within the $6.2 billion that was allocated for this?
Well, it was more than that. It was $2 trillion.
Oh,
I know. Excuse me. I'm sorry. 6.2 trillion, though. Isn't that actually the amount that if another bill is written or has to be written, that there will be funds for that?
It could be. Yeah, it could be. It could be an overall if they put another $2 trillion in, coming for the future, the number 4 bill, so that the poison itself, or is all going to start to go down. The bug goes down, and we start to enter back into normal.
Yeah.
And we still need a boost economically. Could be another $2 trillion.
Yeah.
Overall, all four bills could be close to $6 trillion.
Right. The good news is that help is coming, but the unconscionable news is that while everyone who needed it was waiting for the funds, in came Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats, and they forced these.
We are in the second hour of power. The second hour of power. Pat McDonough with Ron Savage and Valerie. A lot of fun.
Yes, it is.
A lot of fun.
That's right. It certainly is. We had to take what we could get and move forward, and that's it. All right. Thank you, Ed. Appreciate it very much. And we're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Please listen. This is important. Anyone can be affected by the prescription opioid crisis. If you think you've been hurt by Purdue or its prescription opioids like OxyContin, you may be entitled to compensation as part of Purdue's bankruptcy, but you have to file a claim.
We're going to come back.
Overdose, death,
Savage Mode Pick with the moves of the night by Mr. Bobby Cigar. So there. I know all the good songs. I know all the good songs. All the good songs.
For more information, visit PurduePharmaClaims.com.
It's one of those things.
Or you
It's
can
one of
call
those things.
toll-free
One of those things.
1-844.
And I write back.
217-0912. That's 1-844-217-0912. Paid for by Prime Clerk, LLC.
Are you always apologizing for your dog's behavior?
No.
Communicating at K9 Concepts, we can solve your problems. The answer to your problems is a phone call away. Call 410-477-2000 for a free demo evaluation. Call 410-477-2000.
My
Obedience protection, handicapped assistance, boarding, grooming, puppy preschool. Visit K9Concepts.com. The best for your dog. Call 410-477-2000.
Are you facing tax problems? No matter how long it's been since you last filed, if you have faced unemployment, loss of a family member, divorce, or illness and feel you can't afford to fix your tax problems, contact Advantage Tax Service, the Tax Killer. With the Tax Killer Rescue Plan, you have options you'll find nowhere else. Since 1989, Rose Harbaugh, former IRS employee, has helped many Marylanders and others outside the state resolve their problems. Advantage Tax Service has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and works overtime to assist the taxpayer to avoid additional penalty and interest. They are here all year, preparing each return as if it were their own. And Rose Harbaugh, owner of Advantage Tax Service, met and was interviewed by Tom Marr when he did her ads. So give Rose Harbaugh, former IRS employee, a call at 869-TAXX. 410-869.
I hope everybody's getting through this stuff, man. I tell you, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. You know what I mean? John, get it out! Nobody else does that. Nobody else. I love it.
Cancer Society have partnered to encourage people across the country to give blood to give time. Many cancer patients, especially those undergoing chemotherapy, may need blood during their treatment. Cancer takes so much, but you can help by donating blood or platelets. Visit givebloodtogivtime.org to give now. That's the IBM Model F chemical. They called it the musical.
All right, Bessie, hold on, Bessie.
Guess what? It's coming back. That's right, the second coming of the high-quality Model F. You know, sometimes you just need to go back a space. Keep tabs on the future.
Wah,
You want to just like maybe shift directions. Yeah, I'll stop right now.
Join me for the Kim Commando Show, Sunday night at 10 on Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
A little too tall, could have used a few pounds. Tight pants points, hollering out. She was a black-haired beauty with big dark eyes. And points all her own, sudden way up high.
And now more of the Pat McDonough Show on Talk Radio 680 WCBM and worldwide at WCBM.com.
Out past the cornfields where the woods got heavy. Out in the back seat of my 60 Chevy.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. And thank you for tuning in tonight. We're going to talk with Will.
Go, Will, baby.
There he is.
Here he's going, get him, baby.
Will, are you there?
Hey, Pat, how about
There he is. God love him. God love him.
Hi, Pat. How are you tonight?
Good. What's up?
I don't know where to start, other than to say that it's great hearing Pastor Lewis.
Do not call me when I'm fucking working.
Like that. Still puts too daggone far to get up there at the tough hill, or I'd go to his service every Sunday. How about that church that burned down on Eager Street today? Lightning struck the spire. I would sound like the artillery barrage going off this morning, all that thunder and lightning.
Really?
Huh. Oh, yeah.
WCBM, the Pat McDonough Show. Ron Savage speaking. Who's calling tonight? Hey, Rob. Let's get you in the magic computer.
Once the fire starts burning like that, it's going to come down.
It's an open show. It's all over the place from the coronavirus to Pelosi. Same thing.
Taken. And then we go to a church.
Me too. Yeah, so you're talking springboard off of coronavirus, and then you can come on anything you need. Oh, yeah.
First of all, we got this governor. He's running.
Okay. Thanks, Rob. Hold on. We got Will, and then you. Will's on right now. Hold on.
You cannot shut down the state like this. I don't care if they pass all these all kind of laws.
They loud.
Emergency powers. These laws are passing
Herb crap.
here are unconstitutional, and they're illegal. Like this, and plus, who believes this vote? Ellen Sabre won the governor. Ellen Sabre was the governor. I don't care what anybody said, but Linda Lamone and them, they rigged the election. And they're passing these illegal laws, like these federally non-compliant driver's license for illegals.
Yeah.
That's illegal on its face.
On its face.
You don't need to be a rocket scientist to figure that out. It's a fraud. And it's only put in there to subvert the Real ID program. All the rest of us have to subscribe to the Real ID program, but the illegals don't. They get to come in with these funny documents, and then there was the, like you were saying before, the in-state tuition for illegals. That's unconstitutional on its face. And the gay marriage, that passed, that went to referendum, the fastest in the history of anything. And Linda Lamone said it passed 70%. It just doesn't stand to reason. It's just we don't trust the government, just like we don't trust the figures they're coming up with every day. If they're saying another 1,000 people, just these figures about the people that have died are a perfect example, which is coronavirus. They say 5 people have died in the state of Maryland. First off, they all had an underlying condition, but the governor will not tell us what the underlying medical condition was. That's called the lie of omission. And we have 5 people that have died out of 6 million. That's better than 1,000,000 to 1 odds of you getting this. Yet he thinks he somehow has the power to violate the First Amendment and make everybody hide in their basement. I mean, it's absurd.
Well, it certainly has denied a lot of rights. It's a whole new world, and it's all across the country.
Talking to it too, and everybody is talking about it too. Mark Levin and everybody else is talking about this invasion of our privacy, and this is why I always liked Don Dwyer. Now, Don Dwyer. So you got a DUI. So what? Martin O'Malley had a DUI.
Well, Don is living in Florida.
Yeah, he's down in Clearwater. I'm happy he escaped
Clearwater,
the Republic of Maryland. I'm happy that.
Wait a minute. What about Clearwater?
The Senate Minority Leader.
I think that Creedence Clearwater Revival freaking was there. How's that?
Maryland, and what about this?
That's Ron Savage's guesstimation
for telling the truth about how these lefty medias are using the corona to try to take down Donald Trump. You know. And John Hopkins has just become has been co-opted by Bloomberg not only to destroy Donald Trump, but our Second Amendment as well.
Well, they can try, but I think, according to the polling, the president's going to be very strong. He's doing a good job, doing better than what they are trying to do. And the polls indicated, and I think when this is all said and done and it reaches its apex and we move into a new phase, I think the president's going to be very strong.
Well, I do too, but this is also why they're coming up with this other fraud they got going now.
Look at that, baby.
In elections.
My God. Whoa. That's amazing.
And Hogan has drugged us into that, too. This is a pitiful fraud. It's just one fraud after another.
Yeah.
And I can't say it enough about Maryland here. They cannot tell us we cannot go out and peaceably assemble. I mean, we are being just like one bite at a time. How do you eat it? They are one bite at a time. They are destroying our civil rights.
All right, well,
Only pretext.
thank you for calling. Appreciate it. Okay.
Brother.
Take care. All right, we want to talk about this story I want to give you, Valerie, about what's happening in the state of Colorado. Colorado is changing very seriously. I mean, it was somewhat of a conservative state.
Oh, yeah?
Let's say 10 years ago, and then it became a moderate state. And, of course, they legalized marijuana, recreational use. They don't tell you, but there's all kinds of problems going on up there. But the current liberal Governor Jared Polis, just repealed the death penalty, got rid of the death penalty in Colorado. Now, there's a state senator, Rhonda Fields. Now, State Senator Rhonda Fields is a liberal Democrat. She's an African American, and she has fought for years and years to continue to have capital punishment in Colorado. Now, she, as a state senator, her son and
WCB on the Pat McDonough show. Ron Savage speaking. Who's calling tonight?
They were both murdered in Colorado. And
William?
As a liberal Democrat, she has fought for 8 years. She worked with Republicans and some Democrats to stop getting rid of the death penalty.
And would you like to talk tonight about?
So anyway, she lost. Now, this Democrat governor said that he was not only he won and he passed the bill.
Okay, we got robbed, and then
the death penalty was now in charge of Colorado. He commuted the sentences of the two guys who murdered her son and daughter-in-law, even right when he defeated her and passed that. Colorado became the 22nd state to repeal capital punishment. So this is what's happening now. In 2015, Nebraska.
We have him a little cup of Chianti, please. A little cup of Chianti.
The death penalty.
Please.
And
thank you.
Well, anyway, the people in Nebraska voted. Not the people in Nebraska, but the governor and the Democrat legislature in Nebraska passed the bill to get rid of the death penalty. And the people in Nebraska the following year did a referendum and voted to get rid of the death penalty. Okay? They voted, the people. Now, this is something in California, the most liberal state in the nation. In 2016, they passed what is called an initiative referendum to repeal and get rid of the death penalty. The following year, the voters of California defeated it and put the death penalty back in business. Well, I fought it. It was passed. The death penalty was fought.
In Maryland, yes.
Yeah, it was fought hard. I worked on it every year.
I remember that.
And they passed got rid of the death penalty.
Anyway.
But we don't have a referendum.
Well, then maybe that's what we should be doing.
Yeah, we don't have a referendum.
But I don't think that's going to happen in Maryland with the General Assembly because, it's not really the General Assembly, it's the General Asylum. You and I both knew that. It's a bunch of crazies down there.
Yeah. So anyway, let's talk with William in Dundalk.
Go, Will.
How you doing?
Doing good. What's up?
Hey, listen, how come you say Hogan's doing a great job?
We never said that.
I'm a truck driver. I'm all over this state. I see illegals working everywhere. You got grass cutters out cutting grass. They're mowing the grass and throwing it. They're taking our jobs. You doing a good job?
No, I'm sorry. Well, hold it a minute. I never said Hogan was doing a good job. I think he's done a lousy job.
Very lousy job.
No, I've been fighting against illegal.
Just to do myself.
Yeah, well, I've been fighting the General Assembly, and I've been fighting. All right, you're going to talk, or I'm going to talk. What do you want to do?
You talk.
We've been fighting against the.
Oh, he almost got it. He almost got it.
When I was in the legislature, I introduced 15 different bills. They were all defeated by the Democrats. We fought against the.
That's like me. Zero
illegal
tolerance.
We fought against the driver's license. Larry Hogan has not done a good job at all, in my opinion.
1 minute.
And the state of Maryland, we've got close to 500,000 illegal immigrants, like you're saying, taking away jobs from people. So I agree with you, but we're stuck with where the liberal Democrats in the Maryland General Asylum dominate the state of Maryland. They just passed a law in the last session. They just passed a law where schools, libraries would be sanctuaries, and Maryland would be a sanctuary state.
And even courts.
Yeah, and courtrooms would be sanctuary.
So here it is, you have officers of the court that can't, if an illegal alien comes in there, can't even do anything to them.
Oh, man.
I'm all through Baltimore County. I drive truck all through Maryland. I'll tell you what, I could take you places, and Larry Hogan and Johnny Ray Stallings get voted for the school tax. All these places where they work. I deliver there every day. There's people in there can't even speak a word of English, and they have one guy running the place.
Oh!
Place after place after place. They're out cutting their grass. People need jobs. Chesky, Stallings, and all of them. They should try to push them all the hell out of here. And
well, they never voted for the sanctuary state. They voted against it.
Johnny O voted.
Well, Johnny O made Baltimore County
against,
into a sanctuary county.
Right.
And schools are full of it. Johnny Ray Stallings pays to be a Republican and votes for the school tax with Johnny Chesky.
Well, Oshesky didn't vote for the.
I never voted for Stallings again.
Oshesky did not. Oshesky never voted on the Carlin bill. He's the county executive in Baltimore County.
Yeah, he didn't vote for it. He supported it, but of course he didn't vote on it. But since he's talking about the bill,
right,
which I think we ought to organize a little bit or explain a little bit what happened. The Carwin bill is a big tax bill, $30 billion, and we opposed it totally. What happened was that the leader of the Maryland Senate, the Republican leader, J.B. Jennings, said that the bill was going to pass. It was going to pass.
Savage choice.
They submitted
Mike Dabsel.
4 amendments, which the Democrats supported. And these amendments.
See, man, see what I do. See what I do for you, man. See what I do for you, man.
They put an overwatch.
When we're gonna leave, right?
Over the Carwin bill.
Commercial.
They put in certain rules that if
Savage pick,
Savage pick. The problem we have now, that the money would not be available.
Carry on.
The bill a better bill.
My wayward.
They got that in. The only way they could get those amendments and change that bill was if they voted for it. That was the deal. Exchanging 1 for 1. So they voted for it. He's talking about JB and Saley, and I don't know, it was, I think 6 state senators voted for it. So they actually got those 5 or 6 amendments on the bill, which is unheard of and unbelievable of, that the Democrats would allow those bills, because it really changed the whole Carwin bill. These things were not in the bill, but they had to make a deal and vote for these and for the bill. Now here's the problem. The governor, we hope, because the governor really said he was opposed to this bill, and he was not in support of this
2
bill.
minutes over commercial.
He called it a tax bill, and he was right about it.
I gotta tell him. I gotta tell him.
Now the bill is going to the governor. The governor has a choice. He can veto this bill. Okay. Now, when he vetoes this bill, J.B. Salings and the other senators who are Republicans
It's gonna be 3 minutes over.
will support the governor vetoing and voting against this bill. They will go on record voting against it. Of course, here's the problem. The governor's veto will be overwhelmed. It'll be overturned by the Democrats.
3 minutes over.
And it'll pass even with his veto.
Hold on, Betsy. Betsy, get on standby.
But the bill that passes will
Betsy,
be different. It will
get ready.
still
Stand by.
have
I
these
know
5 or 6
you have your cigarettes.
new amendments in the bill.
Oh,
the oversight, the money control. Not perfect, but a better bill. It will pass. Now, here's the real problem for these state senators. And some of these delegates who got this bill to change these reforms, the governor, will he have the courage to stand
I gotta
up
tell you.
and
Look at her. She's waiting because I said that.
that bill?
Look at that.
Despite the improvements that we made, I'm going to veto this bill.
Okay, back to the show. Back to the show.
He has another opportunity.
Right,
If he
so
doesn't
well.
veto
There it
this
is.
bill,
Perfection.
and he just
Savage
lets it go by
mode.
without signing it.
Perfection.
And it passes anyway. Now that is surrendering.
Yes.
He shouldn't do that. He should veto the bill. And it's unfair to those Republican senators who changed that bill and put all those safeguards in there. It's unfair to them because he's not vetoing it. And he took away their chance to vote against the bill, to vote for the veto. So, he has really screwed up when he does that. We don't know for sure, but the rumor is he's going to let it pass.
Well, I think there should be a petition to make sure that
There is no petition.
4 minutes on a break.
We don't have that. See, that's the problem in Maryland. We don't have what is called a citizen's petition.
I know.
The only petition you can have is if the General Assembly does it.
Wow.
Okay?
Huh.
Just like in California, they have those, they call it initiative. It's an agenda where they,
You learn something all the
pass
time here.
getting
I
rid of
swear
the
to
death
God.
penalty, the politicians, and then the citizens put it on the board, and they voted to keep the death penalty.
well, then people better start calling the governor and telling him,
You better veto that.
you better veto the bill,
There you
or
go.
this is what we're going to do.
That's right. There you go. Okay,
Yeah.
we're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Stalled out front will try and lift north as a warm front early on Sunday, and then a cold front will move through from the west later on Sunday. Now we're looking at patchy fog, clouds, maybe some stray showers. The fog to around 50. Early clouds and fog for Sunday. Some scattered thunderstorms later in the day. Low to mid 60s. Still looking at a stray shower thunderstorm Sunday night. 52 for the overnight. Lots of sun for Monday. Mid to upper 60s for the afternoon high. I'm Jeff Eno for the Weather Channel for Talk Radio 680 WCBM.
When your vehicle needs help, Jeff's Automotive Services is the place to go. Your vehicle will be worked on by Automotive Service ASE certified technicians. Jeff services all vehicles, including cars, SUVs, trucks, both medium and light duty, and there are always specials available at Jeff's Automotive Services. Just call 410-682-5700. Jeff's Automotive Services is locally owned and conveniently located in the heart of Essex at 313 Mace Avenue. Jeff's is the winner of the Best Automotive Service Award for 2019 by the Avenue Newspaper's Readers Poll. Jeff's offers 10% discounts to all seniors and active military members and would like to thank our military members for their service. Jeff's Automotive Services has a name you can trust. Remember, call 410-682-5700 for Jeff's Automotive Services.
Please listen, this is important. Anyone can be affected by the prescription opioid crisis. If you think you've been hurt by Purdue or its prescription opioids like OxyContin, you may be entitled to compensation as part of Purdue's bankruptcy, but you have to file a claim. Claims may include overdose, death, substance use disorder, lost wages, and neonatal abstinence syndrome. Confidential claim can be filed by individuals, a legal guardian, or survivors or relatives of people who have died or are disabled. The deadline to file a claim is June 30th, 2020, or you will lose your right to file a claim. For more information, visit PurduePharmaClaims.com, or you can call toll-free 1-844-217-0912. That's 1-844-217-0912. Paid for by Prime Clerk, LLC.
When a loved one, your father, your sister, your aunt, your grandparent, is facing a cancer diagnosis, you want them to have access to the most promising cancer treatments available. I'm Sadiqa Martin Green, and when my mother was diagnosed with cancer, our world changed forever. I wanted to know that she was getting the best treatments available. This experience made me so passionate about spreading awareness of treatment options, including clinical trials. That's why I'm joining Stand to Cancer to get information to the people who need it most, those who have been diagnosed with cancer and their loved ones. Clinical trials introduce new hope for patients, providing access to cutting-edge and potentially life-saving new treatments, while patients receive the best current care or treatments available. My hope is that all people diagnosed with cancer have access to effective treatments that will make them long-term survivors, like my mom. Talk to your doctor to see if a clinical trial may be the best choice for you or a loved one. To learn more, visit standardtocancer.org/clinical trials today.
Listen Sundays at 9 a.m. for Radio Mass of Baltimore, the live liturgy of the Sunday Mass from St. Ignatius Church in downtown Baltimore. And again at 6 p.m. for a rebroadcast.
The savage mood should not be should not see some things because he's got deep-rooted
no matter how long it's been since you last filed.
Business thoughts here that'll throw him out. Oh, that was a public service announcement. Vegas.
With the Tax Killer Rescue Plan, you have options.
Some things ain't right, man. Some things ain't right.
Since 1989, Rose Harbaugh, former IRS employee, has helped many mail-orders and others outside the state resolve their problems. Advantage Tax Service has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau.
Sorry.
And works overtime
All
to
these
assist
things,
the taxpayer to
all
avoid
these things will be
additional
written in the scroll.
They are here all year, preparing each return.
Oh, thank you.
And Rose
Thank you.
Harbaugh, owner of Advantage Tax Service, met and was interviewed by Tom Marr when he did her ads. So give Rose Harbaugh, former IRS employee, a call at 410-869-TAXX, 410-869-8299, or online at taxkiller.com. That's taxkiller.com.
Allow me to offer some sound advice. More than 35 million men, women, and children have hearing loss, and the number is growing. You need to begin your journey toward healthy hearing now by calling Clarity and Comfort Hearing Center at 410-256-1006. The center is located in Perry Hall. Begin your journey to healthy hearing by calling Clarity and Comfort Hearing Center at 410-256-1006. This message is sound advice.
Call Abbott's Plumbing today and get up to $300 off your new water heater. Abbott's Plumbing is your local, reliable plumber who you can trust. Call Abbott's today at 410-536-5700, 410-536-5700. It's Baltimore's #1 marketplace, Radio Flea Market with Jay Harris, Sunday mornings from 7 until 8 a.m. Exclusively on Talk Radio 680 WCBM. And now more of the Pat McDonough Show on Talk Radio 680 WCBM and worldwide at WCBM.com.
Well, with all the information and all the talk and all the media about the coronavirus or COVID-19 virus, we're forgetting about some important elections that are going on. April the 28th, Kwesi and Fume and Kim Klacik, the Republican, will be running against one another to replace Congressman Kwesi and, no, who is that? Cummings, Kwesi and Fume. Elijah Cummings. And then we have the race for mayor, which is a big election. And we have here, which is really interesting, is Mary Miller. Mary Miller, does anybody know who Mary Miller is? Where did she come from? Well, Mary Miller is a former T. Rowe Price Group executive and U.S. Treasury official. She worked for President Obama, and she has already put $1.8 million of her own money into the mayoral campaign. It's a massive investment for millionaire Mary. That's a lot of money. Mary Miller campaign has provided financial figures to the Baltimore Sun, giving voters the first glimpse into how she is managing to fund her big television media campaign. After jumping into the race in January with little time or little recognition, she has been putting voters through TV and campaign screens since mid-February, where she launched a $500,000 media campaign just to kick off. Mary Miller's campaign said Tuesday that it has received more than 750 donations for roughly $600,000. And on her own, she has contributed $1.5 million of her own money. So you count up the $600,000 and the $1.5 million, that's over $2 million that millionaire Mary is spending on this campaign. And she's starting to move up. She's starting to move up in the campaign, in the races. But 750 donors for someone that's totally unknown, she must have a lot of friends that can give her money. But she's raised $750,000. Now, millionaire Mary says she has about $410,000 cash remaining for her campaign, but it sounds to me like she has a lot of friends and she can pick a lot of that money up. Now she's starting to move up. Now I'm telling you, she is a dark horse. She's a dark horse. I wouldn't count her out.
Yeah.
She never held any political office. She worked for Obama. She's with T. Rowe Price, and she's raised a lot of money. She's a multimillionaire, very successful at T. Rowe Price, and she would be somebody out of the nowhere we don't know anything about, could become the mayor of Baltimore City. Very interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Mary Miller, her personal investment is similar to what businessman David Warnock spent in 2016, just 4 years ago. Businessman David Warnock in the Baltimore mayoral race spent $2 million himself. Warnock finished fourth. He lent his campaign $2 million. Now, this is interesting. Think about this. Miller and Warnock both work for T. Rowe Price. Now, T. Rowe Price must be very politically involved.
I said, I wonder how much money they're giving her.
Well, her friends that are donating $700,000 to her, they have got to be people of some wealth.
Yeah,
but that's T. Rowe Price that put up a candidate 4 years ago who raised, $2 million, or loaned his campaign $2 million. This was a guy that we saw driving around in a truck. You know, he's a multimillionaire. He was one of the folks. He was driving around the neighborhoods in a pickup truck, and he was running for mayor. Now, Mary Miller also released 5 years of tax returns to the public. The returns were filed jointly with her husband, attorney James Dabney Miller. And they showed that the pair earned more than $3.8 million annually in income from 2014 to 2018. So she's been doing well. And in 2018, they both filed tax returns. They raised $703 million. So they're doing very well. They're making a lot of money, but they're spending it. Mary Miller earned $5.2 million herself, all from capital gains.
Now, the question I have to ask, why is she running for mayor? I mean, in her cameras, in her commercials, she's saying she's going to do this and she's going to do that, the usual stuff. She's going to fight crime. Yeah, she's going to say everything everybody wants to hear.
Well, Mary said she saw her income increase after leaving her job with the Obama administration. She received $160,000 in her job with the Obama administration. The Millers gave more than $1 million in charitable contributions to all but one of the 5 years, past 5 years. So they donate very, good. Their donations.
Yeah, but you know what, Pat? I just got to thinking. Look how much Obama's salary has increased since he left the presidency.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, he went in. He was living in a rented house.
Mrs. Obama.
Yes, and he came out.
All right, let's take a last caller here real quick. We have Ron. Let's see what Ron has to say. Ron. I'm sorry, Rob. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm saying Ron. Rob, you're on the air.
Hey guys, how are you doing tonight?
Good.
I don't know how much time I have, but I'll be quick.
2 minutes, Herbert.
And I don't know if you have the technology to do this, but I'm drawing your attention to Tucker Carlson on Fox News last Thursday or Friday. I don't know if he did a podcast, but you need to investigate this. And I take it back if I'm wrong, but he did this expose on those 4 RAC senators who made millions by getting their stock, selling their stock before the insane coronavirus. The one that he really nailed was Senator Burris. And he pointed out that Burris had, as head of intelligence, he had a
Yep.
to Dr. Fauci.
I want to thank you all for joining us tonight.
January,
For 2 hours of power every Saturday. Every Saturday from 8 to 10. Tell Vegas this every Saturday from 8 to 10.
She sold $1 million. Poppy sold $5 million.
50 seconds heartbreak.
Georgia senator, I forget her name, she sold $3 million, and she was a stockbroker. And all I'm hearing is, well, I had a trust fund. I didn't know it's legal. And I'm saying, sir, okay, it's legal, but is it ethical?
Yeah. Well, Rob, they need to look into it. That's for sure. They have a trust fund. What kind of trust fund? When did they sell it? Who sold it? Did they have any involvement in it? A lot of questions, and I think we'll find out about it before it's all said and done. But thank you very much, Rob. Appreciate your call. And that is it. Thank you, Valerie. Thank you, Ron. Always remember, truth and knowledge guarantee liberty. Keep the faith and keep punching.
Stay connected with stimulating talk and breaking news on Talk Radio 680 WCBM, Baltimore, and WCBM.com.
No quarantine for the Big Apple yet. I'm Jessica Stone, Fox News. President Trump has decided against issuing a quarantine order for states in the Northeast hit hard by COVID-19. Instead, he says the CDC will issue, quote, a strong advisory to parts of New York, Connecticut, and New Jersey to slow the spread of coronavirus. New York is trying to remain supplied during the coronavirus epidemic. Fox's Jackie Heinrich reporting from New York City.
Hospitals are straining
number one,
to meet
Mark.
current needs, reporting that units are
you're
full
welcome.
outside Elmhurst Hospital in Queens. Long lines of people. It's the same hospital that used a
Take it easy.
refrigeration truck
I'll
that
see you.
bodies.
I'll
Doctors
see you
are
around.
also falling ill. And while the state says they've purchased enough protective equipment for the current need, healthcare workers on the front line